Hi, in this video we're going to graph a system of linear inequalities. This is very similar to graphing a linear inequality, but with a system we're going to have two or more inequalities. And so with the linear inequalities, we shaded a region that represented all the solutions. We're going to do the same thing here. However, because we have more than just one inequality, we're going to shade both of our lines or three of our lines, and where the shaded regions overlap, that will represent the solutions. It will be a true region for not just the first inequality, but for all of the inequalities again. So we're going to graph our lines, we're going to shade just like we've done before, and where the two regions overlap, that is our solution to the system of linear inequalities. And so if you look here, we have two inequalities. Y is less than or equal to 2x plus 4. I'm going to use blue for that one. And so with this one, because it's less than or equal to, y is solved for, so we don't have to do any work there. It's less than or equal to, so we're going to be solid, and we're going to shade below. Okay? And so to graph that, we start at 4, and my slope is 2. And so the more points I put on my graph, the better my graph will look. And so again, we're using a solid line, and we're going to shade below. And so line, make that blue. And so there's my line, solid line again because it's less than or equal to. And I'm going to shade now below my line. And so I'll use blue for that. Okay. So any point below represents a solution to that top inequality. Okay. Now, our second inequality, which is 2x minus 3y is less than 3, I'm going to solve for y. I'm going to do the work ahead of time to solve for y. So we would subtract 2x from both sides. Negative 3y is less than negative 2x plus 3. We're going to divide both sides by negative 3 now. Hopefully solving for y is easier now. Y, because we divided both sides of an inequality by a negative, we're going to flip our inequality sign to greater than 2/3 x minus 1. And so for our bottom inequality, we're going to use a dashed line, and we're going to shade above. We're using dash because it's greater than, and we're shading above because it's greater than. So we start at negative 1. I'm going to rise 2, run 3, rise 2, run 3. I'm going to go down 2 and to the left 3. And notice here, chances are our inequalities aren't going to intersect at a solid point, okay? Or a nice lattice point. So I'm going to use a dashed. I'm going to connect my lines or my dots using a dashed line. Make that good. Okay, and again, so we use our dashed line. We're going to shade above because it's greater than, so everything above my line. So if I shade here, so this is everything above my red line. Right, so this would represent all the solutions to the bottom inequality. And again, the solution is where the shaded regions overlap. And what's nice with these highlighters is you can see that the overlapping region is this dark blue region. So my solution is everything in this dark blue. This is my solution right here. Everything below our blue line, everything above our red line, that is our solution region to these inequalities. And you can take a test point in here, plug them into both your inequalities, and you're going to get a true statement. And so that's how you graph a system of linear inequalities. If there was a third inequality, we would graph it, and then where all three of those regions overlap would be our solution. If our region does not overlap, then there would be no solution. Okay, but since there is a region that overlaps, that represents our solution set to our linear system of inequalities.